Hey, Flashback Monday, where we talk about all the books in this magazine. 1 year left, 12 whole issues. We're in July 2015, and the magazine ends in July 2016. We're getting down to the end. Okay, where you going, miss? Oh, sorry. You gonna come back? No? Okay. So, this is the D. Louise book series, and I'm Christina, Kristina. This is where I read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy smash stuff going on here. And if you could please hit the like and subscribe, I would appreciate it. You know, all the other channels beg and plead and beg and plead and beg and plead. I sometimes forget to completely ask for likes and subscribes. So Z-Book, I appreciate you if you could like. And Leaf Sonata, if you could like the video. And Selena, if you could like the video. And Trudy, if you could like the video. I could have 4 likes on a video. Whoa! You guys are probably the only ones I'm gonna get. Thank you. So, we start with Regency, and we end with some Harlequins. And we do contemporary romance, inspirational, mystery. Not too bad of a pile here. So let's get started. July 2015. And we'll be talking about Miss Hells on Wheels. We should do wow. I did Swoon with the Pirates. Like, it reminds me of Gone with the Wind, but she's not wearing a corset. Alright. Time for Naked Guy on the cover. I wonder what happened. Oh, this is the American West. I think we're going to do something about this. So anyways. Alright, let's see here. The lady on the cover, Roseanne Bittner. Those are the books. And it's this one, Do Not Forsake Me. Four and a half stars. Oklahoma, 1892. More than 2 decades into the making, Bittner's sequel to Outlaw Hearts is an emotional powerhouse. The strong flavor of the Wild West combines with a beautiful love story, creating a true saga of the era. When Miranda Hayes first tangled with notorious outlaw Jake Harkner, neither realized that the love between them would withstand any obstacles in the last 26 years. Jake and Miranda, their children and grandchildren make their home in lawless Oklahoma territory, where Jake and his son are lawmen. Life is good, yet Jake is haunted by his past, and only Miranda's steadfast love can bring him peace. But his sins are never far away, and when a band of outlaws ride into town, their lives are shattered. Gotta figure it out. And I am never, ever going to learn I know that book is. Ah, there it is. I knew it was red. Oh, when I went looking for this book, I don't know why, but I looked at this book and I thought he has nefarious thoughts. He's up to no good. He wants to get in her pants dress. I don't know. Naked girl on the cover too. But look at his expression. Does it say I want you? Or does it say I've got you where I want you? I don't know why that hit me like that. Alright. The Art of Sinning. 4.5 stars. 1829 England. With every book, Jeffries grows into even a more accomplished writer, whose memorable characters and unforgettable stories speak to readers on many levels. There's pure romance, sexuality, wondrous repartee, a bit of humor, and depth of emotion that gives readers that deep sigh read they crave and leave the yearning for more of the sinful suitors. The men who found the St. George's Club vowed to keep the women in their lives safe from rogues like them. American artist Jeremy Keene will not take up the reins of his family business. His sister does a perfectly fine job running the textile. Instead, he's decided to roam Europe, gaining fame for his realistic paintings. It's the fact that his models are all women of infamous Covent Gardens brothels that interests Lady Yvette Boileau. The tall, stunning woman is just the model Jeremy needs for his masterpiece. Over his brother's ejection, Yvette agrees to pose for Jeremy in exchange for his help in finding her nephew. It's rumored that the boy and his mother are in a brothel. From the moment she begins modeling, Yvette realizes she is courting scandal. Well, especially if she's posing in a certain undisclosed lack of clothes situation. Uh, this lady has got. I had them. I gave them away. I'm sorry I gave them away. But if I ever find them, I'll get them again. The sister brides, the brother brides. It was a whole bride series. There were 7 of them. Trapped by Scandal, naked guy on the cover, and almost naked woman on the cover. 4.5 stars. Book 2 in Feather's Trap series pairs a mysterious, dangerous man with a spirited, brave woman. She's included a page-turning overview of political unrest, insurrection, and riots of the terror during the French Revolution. A tad reckless Lady Hermione Fanshawe disguises herself as a boy and travels to Paris to find her twin brother, Alec. But happenstance hero joins up with William Douce, Viscount St. Aubrey. He, along with his group of men, including Alex, engage in the dangerous business of helping French aristocrats escape to England. Along the way, Hero and William become lovers. What are you doing? No, you are not playing with the wires. Okay. I don't know why. I probably have this one, I just didn't look. Alexandria Hawkins. Naked guy on the cover. A Duke but no gentleman at Alexandria Hawkins, 4.5 stars, 1792. The first of the Masters of Seduction will more than satisfy those who savor dark, richly woven romance. Hawkins focuses on the friendship and rivalry between men as they compete for a lady's virtue. It is through the male point of view that the readers are drawn into the story. but it is the heroine's voice that will keep them turning the pages. So we switch POVs. Since boyhood, the Duke of Blackburn and Marquise Norgrave have been the best of friends and enemies. They have always tried to best one another at drinking, racing, gambling, and wenching. The rivalry heats up as Norgrave becomes obsessed with the idea that Blackburn is the better man and makes an incorrigible wager. The first lady to seduce and bed the first man the first to seduce and bed the innocent lady, Imogen, will win the biggest bet of all. As the game begins, Blackburn realizes he is falling in love. Well, then you'll gain a wife. That's what your biggest dream is there. Smoke. What you doing, Smoke? What? Come here. You're the one that left. What? You're the one that left. Are you going to come up? Huh? Home by morning. Cowboy. Four and a half stars. 1871, America West. Yes, ma'am. The conclusion to Warner's Hero of Heartbreak Creek is the book readers have been waiting for. The story of Thomas and Prue. Fans of Beverly Jenkins will adore this beautifully written, tender, powerful story, tinged with humor, danger, passion, and pride. Thomas Redstone, Cheyenne warrior and U.S. lawman, has finally come to bring his beloved Prudence Lincoln home to Colorado after time spent teaching in the Friends School for Blacks in Indiana. Thomas has no idea that she is being railroaded into accompanying Cyrus Marsh on a speaking tour. Marsh needs Prue to convince powerful people in Washington, D.C. to fund education for the blacks. When he finds her gone, Thomas follows along with Lily, a precocious, blind 7-year-old. Even locating Prue does not help Thomas free her from Marsh's ruthless form of blackmail or her own need to finish what she started. Okay. A rose for Major Flint. A rose for Major Flint. 4 stars. 1815 Waterloo. Alan pens the last book in the Brides of Waterloo trilogy. It's a delightful and well-written, engaging romance about a rascal who rescues a damsel in distress. Illegitimate and a soldier, Major Adam Flint is no gentleman, and the last thing he needs is a lady. Sex, yes. A woman, no. And certainly not one who ties him in knots. But Rose is different. He rescued her on the battlefield, in stock and speechless. She clings to Flint, desperate. Despite his rough manners, her hero worship is seductive. Afraid that he wants her too much, he sets out to discover her true identity and set her free. And Mary Wine, a sword for his lady. Uh, 4.5 stars. Wine reinforces her reputation for delivering amazing, compassionate romances. Her unique plot and excellent character portrayal, starting with Richard the Lionheart, serves to make this another unforgettable love story. Although he served as Richard's second in command on 2 crusades, Raymond de Seagrave is astounded when the king raises his status to that of a baron. Isabel of Camoys inherited Thistlekeep from her deceased husband and has converted the marshland and its geese into a profitable business, supplying feathers for armies' arrows. Richard needs Ramon to build and maintain fortress to defend the property from the Welsh. While Isabel has no intention of relinquishing her control, she will be seduced in marriage, and that's where he gains. How many times does that happen in these stories? All right. Where's my thing? Mainstream fiction. Rashonda Billingsley, Mama's Boy. Uh, 4.5 stars. This is an outstanding story that handles every mother's nightmare from multiple views while addressing one of the society's deepest controversies. The real emotions in the story caused the reader to finish the book in one sitting. The end was like watching a cliffhanger that one did not see coming. Gloria Jones' love for her teen son is so strong that she will defy everyone to protect him when he is accused of maliciously murdering a decorated police officer in the small town and a racial hotbed of Jasper, Texas. Her minister husband did the unthinkable, turning her son in when he knew there was a great chance he could not survive this till his trial. Kay Christian is a hard-nosed and successful DA running for mayor of Houston. She's tapped to take over Jamal Jones's case when the venue is changed. She is sure that she knows who he is, although her stereotype is far from the truth. When the past comes back to haunt both women, they learn the true meaning of motherhood. I'm confused. But anyways, I Jane Green, Summer Secrets. The least I could do is put these spines facing one way so I could actually read the titles. But no, not me. I'm difficult. Always at the bottom of the pile. What else is new? Lord. Alright. No special editing here. Jane Green. Top pick. 4.5 stars. Green strikes gold yet again in this captivating novel about the destruction of addiction, significance of family, and healing power of forgiveness. Growing up, Kat learned too young that alcohol made life a little more bearable. Partying her way through her 20s, Kat feels on top of the world without a second thought that her behavior could be problematic. But when the blackouts become more frequent and her drunken actions lead to the loss of a family she never knew she had but desperately wanted, Kat is ready for change. Over a decade later, Kat is sober through, though it feels like it's a little too late, as she's divorced from the love of her life and making up for lost time with her teenage daughter. Okay. Uh, in plain sight. I don't. I'm batting 1,000 here today. Hit the like button. Fern Michaels, In Plain Sight. 4.5 stars. The sisterhood is back, and they don't take any prisoners in this latest caper of theirs. The subject matter of abuse may be too much for some, but it is handled in a sensitive manner. Characters are well-rounded and truly come alive. Former Supreme Court Justice Pearl Barnes is in a panic. 2 of her clients are missing, and her underground network may be compromised. She needs help from the sisterhood on this one, but knows if word about what she's been up to gets out, she could wind up in prison. The team is on the hunt for French model Emile Laurent, who just happens to be the wife of Lincoln Moss, the president's right-hand man. Lincoln has a long reach, and they need to find her before he does. He used to getting what he wants, but he has never faced a foe like the sisterhood. Let's see what happens. All together now. This genuine charm in Hornby's work lies in her ability to see the wonderfully absurd, the humorous petty, and the magical about the everyday moments in her life. 4.5 stars. Her second novel is full of charming, flawed characters whose insight and opinions make them sympathetic and their growing relationship deeply meaningful. Even though they have sung together for years, the members of the Bridge Community Chair have little in common, and precious like binding them together. But when their chair passes away just before a significant contest, the group has no choice but to band together to bring the championship home. In order to do that, they are going to need outside help. Let's see what happens. I don't know if I saw this one. I do not know. I do not think I have this one. Oh, I was wrong. I found it. Okay. Oh. Anybody wants coconut cake? I'll take some coconut cake. 4 stars. And I highly recommended that you eat before reading this book, as the descriptions of the food are bound to leave readers desperate to try at least some of the temptations. This debut is as sweet as fluffy as the title suggests, but focuses a bit too heavily on the developing romance between Lou and Al, which may leave readers hungry for more about Lou and her journey. Lou meets Al on the worst day of her life, which is followed by the second worst day, when a local critic savages her restaurant, leading it to its slow, steady failure. Their friendship blossoms as Lou shows the skeptical Brit the best parts of Milwaukee. But once Al realizes he's the one responsible for Lou's restaurant decline, he's the critic? How could she not know he's the critic? Well, that just sucks. You just whack him upside the head. Goodbye. Goodbye. Out the door you go. A Week at the Lake. A Week at the Lake. 4 stars. Wax really knows how to make a cast of characters come alive. Readers will love and fuss at the characters as if they've between friends with them if they have been friends with them all along. Even if they figure out the secret early, Wax infuses each chapter with enough drama, laughter, family angst, and friendship to keep readers greedily turning the pages. Serena Stockton, Emma Michaels, and Mackenzie Hayes have been fast friends for 20 years. Every year they meet at Emma's lake house to relax, unwind, and to dish. Suddenly invitations stop and the three drift apart, hurting and wondering what happened to their friendship when tragedy strikes, bringing them all together again. Ah, I've told you about my girlfriends. Stay together for life. Yep. Yep. That lasted, I don't know, 2 seconds. After high school, everybody went their own way. And I never saw them again. Two or did. Two or did. Teen. Let me write this. I cut myself off. Oh, well, don't need that now. I can't believe I cut myself off. Completely cut myself off. Oh, good lord. All right. Teen. Ink and Bone. Rachel Kane. Why did I... I never got this. I never even thought about it. I never even looked for it. It was on my list to look for it. I never looked. All right. I'll put a picture up. Ink and Bone, Rachel Kane. Because I think of Rachel Kane as the weather girl. She had this weather series. But Ink and Bone, 4.5 stars. Kane's world, where books and libraries dominate, is not for the faint of heart. There are a lot of struggles that besets Jess from the beginning, including his own impressive intelligence, burners and obscures, forbidden love, and untold dangers. What's not to love? Imagine Harry Potter, where real magic is found within the pages of ancient text. The great library of Alexandria survived destruction and has been risen to the power in the 21st century as a great bastion of education. The daughter libraries called Serapeum are found in every city and oversee the spread of approved texts. Jess Brightwell comes from a family that is involved in the thriving black market, smuggling and selling ancient texts to rich collectors. It isn't until Jess is brought into the great library service that he must turn his back on his past to embrace his future. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't look for that. I completely forgot about it. No such person. Caroline B. Cooney, 4.5 stars. No such person may sound like an average murder mystery, but it's actually an intricately woven story about people and their interactions with their trust. Cooney's two protagonists are remarkable self-aware, so as they adapt, they allow readers to understand the significance of the chain of events. Miranda Alderson and her older sister Landa don't really get along, but both plan on enjoying their summer at their family cottage, an annual tradition. Miranda wishes her relationship with her sister would improve, but doesn't know how to make that happen. Landa, on the other hand, doesn't take much stock in her sister's opinions and cares little about her deepening her sister bond. When one of the sisters gets tangled up in a murder charge, it's up to the other one to put the pieces together and solve it. Okay. Extraordinary means. Yeah, that's one thing. One thing about the teen section, it's the only section in the book in the magazine that's not indexed. I don't know why, but it was never ever indexed. All the other sections are indexed, but the teen section. 4.5 stars. Top pick. This is a charm to the teen disease narrative that is prevalent in the extraordinary means. Falling in love while knowing there's a finite amount of time is tricky story to tell, and Schneider does it beautifully. Lane Rosen is on the fast track to success. He spends hours preparing for standoff, the college of his choice. But when all that changes when he contacts TDRTB, a drug-resistant strain of tuberculosis. Now admitted to the Lentham House Sanatorium for Teens, he is drawn to Sadie, a young woman who he was once fascinated with at summer camp. Sadie is reckless and rebellious, a risk-taker who won't let the disease get her down. And everything changes when a cure is found. See what happens. And I went over there and never got the other one. Daniel Jose Older, Shadow Shaper. Infused with a plethora of imagination, Shadow Shaper has an intriguing supernatural premise wrapped up in natural cultural details. It works because Older not only gives readers a diverse cast, but he stays true to their background, language, community, leading an authenticity to his work. Sierra Santoga starts to believe that something weirdly supernatural is going on when graffiti murals start to weep. Not only that, but her near comatose grandfather has been saying things that give Sierra cause for concern. So after a zombie-like guy chases her through the streets, Sierra decides to find out exactly what's going on around her. When she meets up with a graffiti artist named Robbie, he tells Sierra that there's an order that the shadow shapers, and she is one of them. Then they discover that there is someone out there who wants to become the ultimate shadow shaper. So he's killing off other shadow shapers to become the top dog. If I did not have a house that was filthy, full of books everywhere, I would show you my cat that just climbed into a bag. Smoke! Smoke, what you doing? Alright. Mystery! My favorite section. What? Iris Johansson, The Naked Eye. 4.5 stars. The stellar author duo picks up events following Sight Unseen, which has Kendra convinced that Eric Colby is alive. Kendra's highly developed senses and razor-sharp powers of observation are telling her that despite the apparent execution of Eric Colby, he is alive and free. Having no one believe her and a reporter write a humiliating article is frustrating, but then Kendra gets back up in the form of Beth Avery, Eve Duncan's sister. When the reporter is murdered and the evidence points towards Kendra, she starts to see the outlines of Colby's plan. Colby is enticing the twisted game he's playing with Kendra, but to make it more interesting, he wants to take up the stakes. We may do that series at one point. We'll see. I'm not too much of a thriller suspense person. The Assassins. Stars. The Assassins is a fast-paced, interesting novel that weaves a web between six assassins who keep readers guessing until the end. Judd Ryder and Eve Blake make a great team playing off each other's talents while getting each other's into and out of trouble. Former CIA agent Judd Lyons returns from Iraq a day early and finds a look-alike living in his home. He is intrigued. When the double is soon murdered, Judd is concerned as he searches to find who is behind the double and who wants him dead. He becomes mixed up in the story of six, the world's most deadly assassins, along with his girlfriend Eva Blake and mentor Tucker Anderson. Judd must uncover the assassin is behind these deaths before time runs out. Um. All right, I never got that. I never. I missed that one, obviously. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. There it is. We may do this series at some point. A Study in Death. Historical mystery. Set in 1831 Scotland, the latest Lady Derby mystery fascinates with a compelling heroine who forges her own way into society, then frowns upon female independence. The crime itself is well planned and executed. The journey to uncover a killer takes many twists and leads to a surprising culprit. Lady Kira Darby has been commissioned to paint Lady Drummond's portrait. Kira is fond of the Baroness, but notice how she cowers around her husband. Having survived an abusive marriage herself, Kira can easily recognize the signs of a mistreated wife. On her next visit, she finds Lady Drummond clinging to life after stumbling down the stairs. When the Baroness dies, Kira believes she was poisoned, although the physician rules out apoplexy or natural causes. Kira must reveal how a killer poisoned a lady and uncover the motive behind her agonizing death. I know this one is coming up. Come over here. You. Let's see. Um, Green Hell. Why is the cover black? Jack Taylor is back in Bruin's latest novel. Once again, the character managed to captivate readers with his status as the ultimate anti-hero. Jack Taylor's life is an absolute mess, but despite having no reason to try to redeem himself, he is focusing on a mad vendetta to bring down a popular professor who may have violent tendencies. His crusade attracts unplanned attacks as well after he steps in and rescues the man from a group of thugs. But once again, the case starts erupting in chaos until a woman named Emerald arrives with the key to either fix all of his problems or drag him down. I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, I meant to listen. I meant to look this up, and I forgot to look it up. If you're on YouTube, well, obviously you are on YouTube. Just Google "Who Let the Dogs Out," and I'm gonna tell you the book probably doesn't come up, but the song does. My little brother's favorite song from God, years. Um, Who Let the Dog Out? 4 stars. Rosenfeld has written a satisfying mystery that hooks readers from the beginning. The prose and format keep the story moving quickly while giving insight into Andy Carpenter and the way his mind works. While the conclusion is somewhat far-fetched, it doesn't make it less enjoyable. When a dog is stolen from the dog rescue co-owned by attorney Andy Carpenter, he unwittingly ends up in the middle of a murder mystery full of diamond smugglers and professional hitmen. After tracking the dog and finding the thief deceased, Andy takes it upon himself to uncover the rest of the story and prove his new client's innocence. I hope he saves the dog, too. Now, we've done a few of hers. Juliet Blackwell's. 4 stars. Blackwell knows what it takes to write a great mystery, and her gang, including the pig familiar Oscar, are trying to solve another case. 4 stars. Lily Ivory is trying to enjoy some quiet time with her friends and working her vintage clothing store, Aunt Cora's Closet. Unfortunately, as the witchy consultant for the local police, she is called to look at a suicide case that may be connected to a botanical shop. When she goes to visit the shop, she discovers the owner's granddaughter has mysteriously disappeared. Isn't this the one that makes clothes and people put them on and it reveals their fondest wish? Where'd it go? Oh, yeah. Check out my video for the book. We did a video for all 27 plus 6, 27 Sherlock Savick and 6 British FBIs. We did them all. We did them in order. So go check out all those videos and go like and subscribe them all, please. Nemesis. 4 stars. When it comes to case involving married FBI agents Sherlock and Savick, you can count on events taking unusual turns. One of the reasons this long-running series keeps on being so entertaining is the combination of eerie and twisted plotlines and engaging characters. While standing in a TSA line at JFK Airport, Agent Lacey Sherlock manages to stop a man carrying a grenade. At first, Sherlock thinks that's the end of it, but then another bomb is discovered. Meanwhile, Savick has his own case to deal with as 2 young men commit murders and then have no memory of the killings. Savick has faced psychological powerful killers before, but finding out who is behind this could be dangerous indeed. Nemesis. Go check it out. Let's see. So, anyways, I thought I had. Well, I guess I don't. I really thought I had this one. I guess I don't. Okay, so then let's see. I did that one. I think we are finished with. Oh, where'd it go? I guess I didn't include it. It doesn't really. Alright, let's move on to sci-fi. Let's see here. Aurora. 4 stars. Voyages on a starship take journey to a place beyond our solar system. This is the crux of Robinson's latest in beautiful language with crisp, efficient dialect and attention to detail. Robinson tells the stories of Freya and her fellow travelers. 14-year-old Freya lives with her mother Devi and her father Bayam on a starship. Freya's relationship with her mother is strained. Devi is a warrior who is consumed with the ship and with the trouble she's convinced are approaching. Eager to leave, Freya goes on her wander jar, a custom where a young person leaves home and travels, learns things about herself and the ship and the people. If you haven't already, check out the D. Louise book series, If Then. There is a sci-fi, If Then, and I specifically went for off planet. I didn't want this planet changing into an alternate universe, blah, 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 blah. I wanted specifically off planet starships. So go check that out. I just saw this. Faces. In the final installment of the Mass of AYGRIMA trilogy, Faces E.C. Blake builds on the suspense created in previous installments. Readers will see the characters grow and change as they face trouble in both the war against the autocrat and in their personal lives. Blake creates a perfect balance between the action and the emotion, forging a deep connection between the reader and the characters. Mara Holdfast has finally begun to embrace her incredible power, despite all the warnings she's heard against its use. With the help of the Lady of Pain and Fire, Mara begins training to develop her magical abilities, and as her powers increases, she slowly begins to forget her initial fears about its effects on humanity. With the combined forces of Mira, the Lady of Pain and Fire, and the unmasked army, it seems like there might be finally a chance to overthrow the Autorock and his impressive murderous reign. But is it worth it when she faces what she's done? Have to see. Artemis invaded. 4 stars. Fans of the first tale in this series, Artemis Awakening, will love the continuation, the evolution of the world of Artemis and heroine Adara. The world building is taken to the next level as readers and the trio try to figure out the truth of Artemis' intelligence and answer the questions beyond the world. Griffin, a stranded archaeologist, has resolved to get back to home planet and bring news of Artemis' discovery with him. He needs help from Adara, a native hunter who has psych-linked Puma to find another repository of the technology that will allow Griffin to contact the ship. While Griffin is focused on making contact, Adara is wrestling with feelings for Griffin and her bond with Sand Shadow and to the planet Artemis itself. What Griffin and Adara don't know is that Griffin left a trail that they have to follow. Let's see what happens. Inspirational. Curiosity Keeper. Can't get it to. Sorry. Sarah E. Ladd, 4.5 stars. Beautifully written, intricately plotted, and populated by engaging and realistic characters. The Curiosity Keeper is Regency romance suspense. It's a page-turner. Jonathan Gilchrist is charged by his spendthrift father to retrieve a stolen ruby, the only thing standing between the aristocrat Gilchrist and the financial ruin. The ruby's trail leads to a tumble-down London curiosity shop run by Camille Iverness, the neglected but loyal daughter of a legendary and somewhat dodgy procurer of antiques and oddities. When Camille is attacked by an outlaw seeking the ruby, Jonathan spirits her away to the secret of his family country home. For the first time in her life, Camille feels safe until she begins to suspect Gilchrist's motives. He might just only want the ruby and not her. So let's see what happens. Change of heart. Molly Jebber, 4.5 stars. This wonderfully written historically romance with Amish and English characters who are lovable and considerate of others. They place their needs on the back burner in order to help those in dire straits. Becca Yost is a midwife who embraced her strict upbringing. When her fiancé jilts her in front of everyone, she knows she has to do something to get past this. She travels to Massillon, Ohio, a beautiful town where her sister lives. Becca gets a job working for Dr. Matt Carrington. They share the same values, even though he is English. They work well together, and Matt wants to marry Becca, but his mother wants her son to marry a society woman. Becca is convinced that she will spend her life alone. When a life-changing situation occurs, Becca learns faith lies in all things. Miss Snelling, 4 stars. Someday Home is a warm novel set against the beautiful town of Detroit Lakes. The 3 women are dynamic, realistic, and fun. Readers feel like they truly know them by the end of the book. When Lynn Lundberg's husband dies suddenly, she finds herself alone in her large family home. The emptiness is too much to bear. She happens across a story of single women who strangle and share a home, and thinks that it is a perfect answer to her loneliness. She meets Angela Bishop, a newly divorced and real estate agent who doesn't know who she is without her husband, and Judith Rutherford, a middle-aged woman who's devoted her entire life to caring for her recently deceased father. All 3 women will live together and learn to help each other through their difficult times. All right, on to. I should have looked for that one. I probably have it. Romantic suspense. Hard to let go. Naked guy on the cover. Four and a half stars. After 4 intense books and several novellas, Kai brings her Hard Ink series to a spectacular conclusion. That success wraps up the overreaching mystery and brings closure to her compelling characters. Although the Hard Ink team survived a rocket attack against their building, 2 members of the Raven Riders Motorcycle Club were not so lucky. Kate Rixey has arrived to only help her brothers Nick and Jeremy, but also to distance herself from a stalker. As it happens, a case Kat's office is investigating could hold the key to finding the identity of who betrayed the Hard Ink team. Beckett and Kate strike sexual sparks immediately, but Beckett doesn't want Kate to wind up in the crosshairs. Vipers Rule. Naked guy on the cover. Four stars. Motorcycles and bad boys make for passionate sex in a story. There's definite raw sexuality and fierceness, providing an excitement uncommon to much of the romance genre. No longer a U.S. soldier, Talon Garrity still craves danger. Being an enforcer for the Vipers Motorcycle Club provides him with a lot of risk, especially with women who find him irresistible. But he's still surprised when Maddie Wells, who only recently returned to Skull Creek, can't keep her hands off of him. Okay. Um, Hell or Hell No Wheels. Did I pick up the right one? Hell on Wheels. I picked up the wrong one. There you go. I picked up the wrong one off the shelf. Uh, let's see. Walker's newest series stars a group of Navy SEALs turned savage crew. Fans of her Black Knights Inc. saga will enjoy the new cast of characters. The only thing Leo Anderson cares about is the sunken treasure he and his mates are on a mission to discover. When CIA agent Olivia Mortar asks for help with a rogue mission, Leo knows all hell is about to break loose. While Leo and his crew revert back to SEAL mode to help hunt down the terrorists, Olivia uses her CIA training to dodge bullets. And as long as we've got it, hell on wheels. Ex-Marine Ghost Weller is an expert at keeping his cool and his distance, which makes him one of a hell of a sniper. It also how he keeps his feelings for Allie Morgan in check. Sweet, sexy Allie has always revved his engine when she's his best friend's baby sister and totally off limits. Ah, that's why. Baby sisters are off limits. Uh, all right. Contemporary romance. We have done this book. I can't tell you how many times we've done this book. Second Chance Romances. Second Chance Summer, Jill Chavez, 4.5 stars. How can one resist Chavez's debut of a new series? The Cedar Ridge book is flawless. The author knows romance, and readers can always expect her to deliver humor, heat, and kick-ass story. Aiden Kincaid is a loyal team member of the Colorado Lioland firefighters and a search and rescue volunteer. He also breaks hearts in his spare time, which has been dwindling now that he's graduated college. 10 years have passed since he last saw Lily Danville, but once he learns she's back in town seeking employment, his pulse raises just a little bit. Cedar Ridge was always home to Lily, but she had a good excuse to leave, or so she thought. But San Diego is far behind her now, and she must start anew. Ah! She probably runs into Aiden. Oh, Kristen asked, look how big this is. It's huge. Ride steady, 4.5 stars. The Chaos is back and fighting for their territory in the latest Chaos motorcycle book. This is a second chance at love novel featuring individuals whose paths crossed in high school but took different roads afterwards. Tortured and abused by his father as a child, Carson Joker Steele left town before his high school graduation in order to escape. Upon his return, Joker joins Chaos and uses his design skills to elevate their ride business. Carissa had a crush on Carson in high school, but after he left, she ended up marrying Aaron. Aaron's cheating destroyed their marriage, leaving Carissa a struggling mom. One day, when a car breaks down, only Joker stops to help. Although Carissa doesn't recognize Joker as Carson, the attraction between them flares. Hidden identity. Jesus, look how thick this is. Hmm. Same price. Uh, Let's see. I might have a few books. No, this one's in here. All right, let's look for it. A New Hope. Robin Carr. 4 stars. The impressive 8th installment in the Thunderpoint series centers on 2 characters are trying to move forward from painful past relationships. After the loss of her baby and dissolution of her marriage, Ginger Dysart has moved to Thunderpoint to start a new life. Matt is also trying to move forward from his own painful marriage. When Matt makes a drunken spectacle of himself at his sister's wedding, he goes to Ginger to apologize for his behavior. Discovering they have a lot in common, Ginger and Matt become friends. Aww. Let's see. Susan Mallory, Kiss Me. 4.5 stars. In the newest Full Gold's offering, award winner Mallory ratchets up the emotional content by developing multiple plot threads dealing with the past and present psychological pain. How these various threads intertwine gives richness to the story that is both heart-tugging and memorable. Rancher Zane Nicholson has had the sometimes inevitable task of raising his teenage half-brother Chase. Unlike Zane, Chase hates the ranch and looks to escape. Chase's latest shame involves raising money for his robotics project by selling tickets to a cattle drive on the ranch. Zane is furious when he's the one stuck with the tourist. Phoebe Kitts Kindheart has gotten her suspended from her job, so she agrees to accompany her best friend Maya to Fool's Gold for the cattle drive. Aww. I think she's going to end up spending a lot of time at the ranch. Okay. Paranormal. Heather Graham, The Silenced. 4.5 stars. Each new book involving the crew of hunters takes the readers on a dark adventure where speaking to the dead is an everyday occurrence. Past and present collide, and compelling characters find a sense of belonging. Graham's skill for rendering her world in such vivid detail makes readers want to know more about the real-life location she draws from. When her best friend Lara goes missing, Agent Meg Murray asks her friends and crew to look into the possible disappearance. Since Meg has a history of seeing the dead, her suspicions are taken quite seriously. Agent Matt Bosworth has been talking with the dead since he was a kid, so he's happy to be assigned to the crew, where he won't have to hide his gift anymore. His current case, centering around mutilated women, rapidly appears to be tangled up with the circumstances surrounding Laura's abduction. See what happens there. This is another series I would like to do if I could get a. It's so hard to get these books. I had them. I had a few. And I said, screw it. I've given up trying to find them all. And now I totally, absolutely 100 regret giving those up because I haven't seen any since. They are very, very hard to get a hold of. They don't show up in thrift stores very much at all. Bengal Quest, Laura Lee, 4 stars. Political and social tensions are rising in the world of breeds. From the beginning, the fight against torture and subjugation has been at the heart of Lee's fabulous long-running series. The Bengal breed, previously known as Gideon, has been hiding in plain sight as Graham, as he waits to extract his revenge. The girl who has lived as Claire for the last 13 years due to a complicated spirit binding with the real deceased Claire is actually the Bengal breed female called Cat. As a child, the then Cat was dying, but Gideon found a way to save her. But the side effect is that she is now a breed. Okay. The heat of the moment. The second book In the back-to-back releases of Laurie Handelin's exciting new trilogy features another time-traveling witch discovering her identity. The cult of witch hunters continues on its deadly quest, and veterinarian Becca Carstairs is about to become the prime target. Becca has always had an affinity for animals, so becoming a veterinarian was natural. However, she also has a unique advantage. She can hear the animal's thoughts. When Owen McAllister broke Becca's heart a decade ago when he left town, escaping from a troubled past, Owen has returned along with his explosive detecting dog Reggie to recuperate from wounds suffered in Afghanistan. When Owen finds the bodies of sacrificed animals in his old home, it starts a chain of events that forces Becky to rethink everything she knew. Uh, a lady that takes up 3 shelves, 3 very long shelves packed. Miss Bien, the Havens, the Sea Havens. Oh, these are the boys. There was the Sea Havens with the girls, now the Sea Havens with the boys. 4.5 stars. Escaping the past to build a new future is overarching theme of Sea Haven's wonderful Sea Haven series. The Parkinson boys' dangerous and torturous life have been kept them generally alone, and the shadows, especially Gavril, Feehan's newest heroine, is also suffering from a secret and dangerous past. After learning about the hit that he and all his brothers are on, secretive Gavril comes to Sea Haven to deliver a warning. It's a fortuitous twist. Gavril arrives just in time to help Lexi fight off men trying to kidnap her. And they fall in love. And another lady that occupies the shelf over there, because we start with A and we work our way across. Miss Arthur. My favorite was the Riley Jensen series. That was my favorite series of hers. 4 stars. The second installment in Arthur's Soul of Fire expertly builds on tension and conflicts with the series debut and expands both the world of urban fantasy series and the alluring cast of characters that populate it. Amberly Pearson and her partner Jackson are still on the hunt for the cure to Crimson Death virus, even as it spread throughout the city and threatens to erupt into a pandemic. Though Amberly has resolved to find the cure at all costs, she can't stop her prophetic dreams, and when she begins dreaming of a misformed and malevolent creature of shadows that kills for pleasure, she knows that she has to stop it. Okay. Those were our paranormals. And we have a Harlequin. The Marriage Agreement. 4.5 stars. Because of his childhood circumstances, Jonathan has vowed never to marry, even though he considers his assistant Fanny to be perfect wife material. When they are caught in a compromising situation, Jonathan offers to do the right thing by marrying her. Fanny cares for Jonathan deeply, but she won't marry him without his love. At a crossroads, Jonathan will have to choose whether to walk away or be the man that Fanny believes him. The elements of Christian faith are superbly woven into the story, and fans of this delightful series will surely enjoy the sweet tale of forgiveness. Oh, can't see that. Oh, it's signed. And that is it to Flashback Monday. I hope you have a good day.